Alright, so this is the first step of making my wonderfully, deliciously beignets. I have the yeast in here with a 1/4 cup of water, and I have about like a half a teaspoon of sugar, and I just mix it all together and I let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. I like to add the sugar to it because it helps feed the yeast to make it all bubbly, and I like to use the rapid rise yeast because I'm impatient. Now on to the second step. I've added 1 cup of lukewarm milk and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. I like to use unsalted. I added a 1/4 cup plus an extra tablespoon of my wonderfully delicious vanilla sugar. I mixed that all up until it was combined, and now it's on to the third step. Now this is my first addition of flour to the beignet dough. I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Total, we're gonna do 4 cups. But before I add in my last 1.5 cups, I'm going to add in my 1 egg for the recipe, and that egg needs to be at room temperature also. I'm going to mix it until it's thoroughly incorporated, and once it's thoroughly incorporated, I'm going to add in my last 1.5 cups. See you in a sec. Alrighty, so in here I have the last 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is the last step with the paddle attachment. Once I get everything going, I'm going to stop and I'm going to add in my dough hook, so that way I can get the dough to start building up some gluten, becoming elastic, and getting ready for that good beignet texture that I love. See you in a sec. Alright people, I done hooked up my dough hook. As you can see, it's in there. Now, this is the part where you sit and wait, you drink you a beer, you make you a cocktail, you do whatever you want to do to kill time, because we have to wait for the dough to form a nice elastic ball and that it all comes together so we can oil it down and let it rest. Now the reason why I use the rapid rise yeast, because it cuts back on my time of having to let my dough double in size. And just a little tidbit, right now it's cold outside, so I turned on the oven to about 300, and I'm going to set my bowl on top of the oven so that way my yeast and my dough have a nice warm place, so that way it can develop and double in size and it won't take as long. So I'll see you guys back so I can show you the finished product. Alright, so now my dough is nice and elastic. I'm going to turn off the stand mixer, and then I'm going to detach the dough hook, and I'm going to put it in the bowl that has been greased. I'm going to grease the top, wrap it with saran wrap. I'm going to let it sit on my warm stove for about 45 minutes to an hour because I used the rapid rise yeast, and then I'll show you the next step once it's doubled in size. Alright, so now the dough has doubled in size. I'm going to punch it down, roll it out on the countertop, and get it ready to fry. I'm using canola oil because it has a higher smoke point. So I'll see you at the next step when it's time to roll and fry. Alright, so the beignets are cut. They're ready to be fried. I have the hot oil, and I'm going to gently drop it in the oil. I'm only going to do a few at a time because I don't want to overcrowd my oil. And I'm going to finish frying these bad boys up, and I'll see you when they're finished. I have my wonderfully delicious beignets that I just fried. I have my first batch in the bag. I'm going to dump everything into the bag. Oh, okay, now you guys can see. Dumping the beignets in. Now I'm going to take some powdered sugars in the bag. I'm going to shake it up. Made a little mess. Voila. Now you have perfectly fried, delicious beignets. I'm going to get in there and get one myself. I made a mess everywhere.